Hello, it's Ashley with At Home with Ashley, and today we're going vintage shopping, baby. I was in Florida with my family, and I found out there was a Palm Beach flea market, not flea market, vintage market. And so I was like, I'm going. And so my family went to go to a science museum and I went shopping by myself. It was blissful. So, we've been working on the bathroom. This week we've been doing demo, and by we, I mean my husband. And because it's an old house, there's so many layers. Like there's 2 layers of drywall for some reason. And then like the ceiling can be on a cool angle, but it's like was dropped down. So there's just a ton he has to pull out, and he's doing it carefully so we can reuse some of the materials. And so I thought I would show you how the bathroom's looking right now. But while he's doing that, I am planning some special stuff. And one thing I really like to do is slowly buy vintage things. So when we were in Florida, I knew I could only buy stuff that would fit in my suitcase. And so I made a list of 3 things I wanted to look for. I had my list, and I would absolutely suggest doing that because then you can be really focused. And I would go from booth to booth and I would just kind of scan and see, like, is there anything for me in this? And then if I saw something, then I would go in because it was so big that if you went in and looked carefully at each item, it would take a ton of time, which I did not have. The first thing that kind of caught my eye was right by the entrance, there was these amazing booths, and it had a $75 frame with like this, it was Italian, it looked like an old building in Italy. Loved it. But I wasn't ready to spend that much money, and kind of towards the entrances, that's where the most expensive booths are going to be. They paid the most. And so, like, it's fun to look at those, but for me, it was like a little bit above my budget. And then while I kept looking, I saw this really beautiful $200 shelf. And I've been keeping my eye out for something that I could put some little houses that I bought on top of. And I thought this would be so beautiful. I didn't have space, but I did enjoy looking at it. And it was also kind of fun to see. They had such high end things I hadn't seen in person, really big Wedgwood pieces, like a cake stand for $400 that was just gorgeous. And then I spotted some mirrors. I have a mirror that I could reuse for this space, but I would love to put in something really fancy. And they had like $300 to like $175 mirrors. And the last one I really liked, it was $175 and had flowers on the top. So again, fun to look at, couldn't bring it home. I don't know if you could tell, but I was having a hard time like pulling the trigger on everything, maybe because those first few booths were so expensive. But I saw an alligator head. It was listed for $15, and my son likes to collect kind of curiosities and bones and cool stuff like that. And so I went back to look at it a second time, and the lady was like, "Hey, honey," and her husband was selling it. And she's like, "Can you do $10 for this?" And I was like, "Great." She did the negotiating for me. It kind of pulled the band-aid off for me. So if you're like ever having a hard time at a vintage market because it's just overwhelming the amount of stuff, sometimes it's nice to just buy something really inexpensive, and then you like just have it and you can move forward with your day. So there was this booth, and it just had art in it, and it was beautiful. There was canvas stuff, there was stuff on hardboard. And I have a frame at home that I bought from an antique shop a few weeks ago. And I was like, I can find art for this because there's such a huge variety. So I was able to tell him like the motifs I like. I wanted something with flowers on it and the colors I liked. And he found a bunch of options that would work with what I wanted. And it was such an amazing opportunity because when can you look through stacks and stacks and stacks of art? And so I found something I liked, and it was a little bit on the expensive side. I spent $100 on the art, but I felt like it was really worth it. And I talked him way down. When I bought it, I was so worried it was too small, but at the end, I will show you how it fits in the frame because I'm very excited about this. A while ago, I thrifted some plates, and I love eating off these gorgeous plates. And so I saw some, and they were between $6 and $8. And I honestly wish I would have grabbed them, especially you can kind of see the $6 ones in the back have purple on them. I just think it's so pretty to eat off of like amazing looking plates, but I left those behind. I did see a whole booth with Herend pieces. I don't know if you've seen these. They're really expensive. Each one was like $900, but they are so cute and whimsical. So it was fun to see those even though I wasn't planning on buying them. At lunchtime, I like to watch Architectural Digest on YouTube, and when they have the open door home tours, those are my favorites. So I saw one recently, and the girl had this tiny little vase that she had flowers in, and I was like, I want a vase like that for my vanity in my bathroom, to have just like next to the sink. And so I priced them out on eBay, and it was like $55 on average for them. A good price was $35. So I saw a vase at the vintage market, And I was like, if it's less than $35, I'm going to get it because I can't buy it any cheaper than that. And it ended up being $10. He was like, that's a really good deal. It's the end of the market. You should get it. And I was like, yeah, $10 is great. So it was nice to educate myself, and I had a list. I knew what I wanted, and then I was educated on the value of those items. So then when I found a good deal, it was easy to just scoop it up. So that's all the items I got at the vintage market. It was so rainy outside, so I was really happy that most of it was inside. I think if I had come on a non-rainy day, there was more booths outside, but it was fine. I brought my rain jacket, so I was ready to go, and it's warm in Florida, so it wasn't even that big of a deal that it was rainy. But I wanted to show you the items I got. So first of all, I got that really cool alligator head, and I feel okay buying animal items that are secondhand because you're not creating a demand for them from like to continue to create new products. But if it's already dead, I don't feel bad about buying it. I thought I would show you inside his playhouse and where I'm putting this because this playhouse is so cool, and I don't know if I've ever showed it to my YouTube audience before. I thought a playhouse my son would want to do like a play kitchen and like a little reading area. No, he asked for a lab for all of his curiosities, and so now we have kind of a like a museum area for him, and I think it is so cool. So I have fun finding items for him for this area, and sometimes he vintage shops with me, and we find items together, and it's like the best. I also got the $10 Witchwood vase. I would have preferred to find this in a pink colorway or maybe even a lavender, but the blue is so classic, and I can't wait to put flowers on it when the room is finally done and put it on my vanity. And then the item I'm most excited about is the art. The art is so good. So in my head, I was like, it's way too small for the frame. I am going to have to mat it. And I was like, oh, that'll be fine. And I looked at pictures and it doesn't look bad matted. But then I brought it home and it fits perfectly. So, well, not perfectly. It's a little bit tall, but we can cut that down really easily. And so all I need to do is touch up the vase, cut that down, and put it on the inside. And I have the most amazing original art that will remind me of my vacation that'll go in this gorgeous frame. And so I'm just like over the moon happy with how that turned out. And then randomly on eBay while I was on vacation, I found this like cute swan, and it has a bolt out of the bottom, and I don't know if I can put it anywhere inside the bathroom, but I wanted to show you in case anybody had a cool idea of where I could put it. It was called a bolt topper, and I saw online some people use that to cover the bolts on a toilet. And my toilet doesn't have bolts like that, so I'm like, I don't know how I could use it. But if you have ideas, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to find a cool use for this. I think I can always just take the bolt off and it can sit as a figurine, but it'd be cool to use it with the bolt maybe. I hope you had fun vintage shopping with me. I had a great time. I'm sorry the video wasn't super amazing. At high-end markets like that, I've gotten in trouble for videoing before, so I was trying to do it incognito. But I still think it was fun to show you my finds, show you some of the market. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I always like to see what people like so I can make more of that video, so maybe we could go vintage shopping again. And if you aren't already, please make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be working on this bathroom, and I have a lot of fun projects coming up that I would love to take you along with.